And we are live, and we pray that I hold together and YouTube holds together during this race. Welcome along to round 9 of Velocity Racing Series. We missed the stream last week because of unexpected circumstances, but we are back. It is round 9. It is the Belgian Grand Prix here within Velocity Racing Series, and what a race we have incoming. One of the most battery style tracks on the calendar before 17 of the best drivers we have to offer in Velocity Racing Series. I'm Leopold, joined always by no co-commentator, for 18 minutes of qualifying and then a 22 lap wreckfest around this Belgian Grand Prix circuit. And who better to show us around the circuit than the Belgian waffle himself, Toyota Yari, out there first on the racetrack. As YouTube is complaining about my audio. Well, screw you, YouTube. You don't get a right to complain. Brilliant racetrack we have here, the longest on the F1 calendar, so long in fact that it has a special exemption from the FIA for its length. Plenty of fast flowing corners and a few slow ones thrown in there just to throw off the drivers as they attack every single part of this track with all their might. All the competitors for your championship in their seats today. Toyota Yari, your furthest contender, probably alongside Puzant in the Haas, who has shown a good run of form recently. Can he keep it going? LOI Not Jack looking to bring himself back to the front of the table, and Audi continuing to look for a strong streak with ST in the other car. LMG Samuel Eli will make his debut in VRS today as well in the McLaren, reserving, but let's go on board with Yari to see what he can do around this track. Overtake mode on the exit. Down the main straight we go towards turn 1. On the anchors just after the 100-meter board. Flick the car into the apex. Get it through nicely and straighten up on the exit. Boost now. Down towards Eau Rouge and Radion. Keeping it 8th gear. There'll be a downshift, I believe, mid-corner. And then boost through the apex and on the exit. Down the Camel straight now. It is flat out. It is all the battery you have getting deployed here as you get ready to attack your second sector. A 31-0 opens up the lap for him, and then sweep through the chicane and now down the hill. Hard on the brakes, easy to lock up your inside front in this corner. Second gear up to third and build the power on the exit. Non-ARS mode, try and keep it flat through a left-hander. Straighten up. Use a little bit of battery now as we head towards Pouon. 6th gear, still flat out as ever in these cars. Bit of medium used on the exit before you get ready for the fast chicane. Now, you want to compromise your first part to keep it flat in the second part. Use all of the exit you can on the anchors. Through the right-hander and now towards Stabilo. 16-3. It's the split at the end of the middle sector, and now the battery is ready to be deployed towards the entire rest of this lap, using that boost mode as hard as he can through Blanchimont, keeping it flat out and pinned, and then hard on the anchors for the bus stop chicane. How much is he going to abuse the curbs? That is some abuse. That is even more. Straighten up now onto the main straight. He'll cross the line. It's a 44-8 to open up the scoring around here. LOI Not Jack will slot himself in P2. It is 8/10 the disadvantage he has. Sinyo looking to be on a second effort here as Vinny, the other Belgian on the grid, goes P3. Joker can't do very much to fight back either. Half second off as it stands. Let's take a look at the new competitor, Samuel Eli. What has he got currently in that McLaren car? What can he offer up in this session? It's wide of the apex. Through the chicane, it'll compromise him. ST can go P2 in that Audi car. But Samuel Eli, more battery I think than Yari had, as Richie has slotted himself P3. Sprint F1 as well is further up the road, looking to put the time in, as I believe is Puzat, who has invalidated, so will be going again. So, watching along now, VRS Catboy himself, Sprint F1 cross the line, he'll slot himself into P2. Samuel Eli, though, what does he have in that McLaren car? He wants to find a good impression to start his VRS competition. It's only P6 for the time being. Where else are we looking? HB Cook. No battery left in that Aston Martin. But all the attacking left to be done is a lift into the final chicane. Interesting, not abusing those curbs as hard as other drivers maybe have. Get the car straight, though, to the line. It's a 46-0 for him. Ben Wilder, our next driver, really on a lap, apart from, I think, Puzant, who is close to Shaw Moist in the Racing Bull. Both drivers looking to put an impression down for everyone to watch along with Ben. A little bit of battery kept in the bank. Is he going to be able to use this to good effect? Straightens up, burning the rest of it now into the final corner. Hard on the anchors. Again, everyone looking to abuse those curbs in the final part of the lap. First gear for Ben as he'll come to the line. It is P12 for him. Bottom of the timing board is Puzant. Continuing on valiantly. Fighting on in the Haas car. Worn tyres, obviously, he's done a lap before. Bit more battery, it looked like saved as the Aston Martin is parked there. Just on the entry to the final corner. Maybe just giving Puzant a little scare to a wiggle of that rear end. Puzant will come to the line. It's only P10 from a man we expect to be fighting right at the sharp end. What has Jeff the Engineer got? Our final man on an attack lap right now. It's P14, 3.2 off the pace as it stands. Sinyo, who I believe was on hard tyres, doing a 50.0 early on in the session, but the only driver in the 144s as it stands. Yari in that Cadillac. What more does he have to give? Because this could be a sweeper qualifying. Could he pull it all together when it counts? BJ Riley out there right now. Is he attacking yet again? He might just be, because this looks like an aggressive lap from him. Got that battery enabled at least to try and get him through, and it's a 10th up for the Williams man, who's looking to put something special on the board, try and raise himself up maybe towards P6, where Samuel Eli currently resides on debut. Still 8/10 off the pace is this driver into the final chicane for BJ Riley. It's a massive flick through the first part, and he'll be pulling into the pits. No real opportunities there. Sure, Moist on an in-lap as well, but let's take a look. MXT SMI, Max as he is known, starting an effort here in Q1. Into turn 1, hard on the anchors. Through La Source he goes. Getting a good run now. Down towards Eau Rouge and Radion. Car getting out of the way there. That's the McLaren of, I believe, it'll be Samuel Eli. Just making sure he doesn't give any advantage to one of his rivals out on track. That Red Bull looks absolutely gorgeous. And look, as we go down the Camel Straight, it's a 31.4 in that first sector. And hooking up this lap is crucial. That's a little too hooked up for MXT SMI. Jeff the Engineer will be going again, but the more important driver right now to be taking a look at is Yari in the Cadillac, and that is wobbly on the exit of turn 1. And that will be a disadvantage he carries now all the way down through Eau Rouge and Radion and the Camel Straight. Can he find an improvement in the first sector? Straight mode surely open on that car. It didn't look like it for a second on the offboard. What can he find in sector 1? Across the split, and he's down 0.07 of a second in his first sector. The Toyota Yari looking to improve, trying to find every last bit of improvement he can as I look for Max, who I believe has fallen offline, unfortunately. So we will follow along with Yari through this middle part of the lap. Puon, next corner coming up, closing that straight mode, getting the car beautifully hooked up, keeping it a bit tighter I think is what he needs to understand there, just to find that little bit of time. You don't scrub off too much speed. Through the chicane, now preparing for Stabilo, and the long run. Any time you lose through here could be lost the entire straight, and he's got onto the gravel, pushing that car as hard as he can. It has somehow been kept valid by Yari in that Cadillac, but he is still 2 corners from home as he's through Blanchimont. And the final chicane, the bus stop looms, hard on the anchors, flick the car over the first part again. The commitment is immense from him. What can he do as he crosses the line? He can't find an improvement. He's not done enough on that lap. What about Joker? In the Mercedes, he is 3/10 off at the end of his middle sector. He crossed the line, has lost a little bit in the final part of his lap. It's an improvement in position, but not time. BJ Riley will be starting a lap, I believe, with his teammate right on the back of him. Which of the Audis is that in the final chicane? I believe that's LOI, not Jack, who again, starting an effort. Got a Haas and WTEC7 Vinny getting ready as Bentley has snuck himself nicely into P2 there with a 44.9. Still more time needed as Bentley is out of the session. ST also retiring from the session at this stage. What has happened to ST and Bentley? Lord knows, but nothing that should be dwelled on. Samuel Eli has invalidated his most recent effort, so he will have to leave it for now as Richie up in P6 right now, 45.3. Looking to find more, but it's a massive locker into the final chicane, and there'll be the pit lane in formation flying for the Aston Martin cars. Disappointment. What about LOI not Jack in the Audi? It's that rain. That's why people are retiring. That is rain on screen for LOI not Jack in the Audi. Can he find time before this track gets too wet? He'll have to push every inch of the limit if he wants to find an improvement, but he's down 2 seconds. This could be massive disappointment for all these drivers. Ben does not find an improvement. Sinyo is in the gravel on a 49.0. And I think we have seen the end of qualifying, ending with wet conditions for these drivers. And unless it dries up in whatever time we have left, I'll have to find out as soon as we stop getting these yellow flags. Everyone deciding to retire from the session. Unsurprisingly, with rain on screen, wanting to get rid of it, wanting to get out of this session as soon as possible. It looks like it'll be Yari on the pole. From Bentley, from Joker, from Sprint F1, from ST, from Richie, from Samuel Eli, LOI not Jack, WTEC7 Vinny, and BJ Riley, your top 10. Out of position, Puzan, down there in P11, someone expected to have a good chunk of pace around this track. Billy Wiz going out there on a set of softs. He's already classified ahead of Max, so don't really see the point. That everyone has kind of just decided, I think, at the same time that this is not the fight that they want to take. There's Billy Wiz into the wall, and unsurprisingly, a lull has appeared in this session as everyone kind of understands no improvements will be found with the rain coming down at the circuit Spa-Francorchamps. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. You'd expect drivers to be starting to think about leaving the garage. No one will be leaving their garages. That might just wrap up qualifying. Yari, on the first effort he had in the session, took pole position and has been given a gift from God that he doesn't have to contend one more time with the 17 drivers behind him. Bentley and Joker slotting in good laps late on to dethrone Sprint F1 from that P2. ST with a good start to his session. LOI Notjack a little bit further down the grid than you might expect him as well. Well, a 45.6. Not what you might think from him. HB Cook as well. P12 only for him. Max CSMI and Billy Wiz didn't get a run in good conditions, unfortunately for them. And as we wait probably for Joker and Samuel Eli to retire, we will be joining you back once the main race begins. And we are back to live after a very brief delay. Obviously, EA loves us and stopped Andy from being able to get back into the lobby, so a reset was in order. But we're waiting for the drivers to be ready to go motor racing once again in Belgium. It looks very cloudy over the heads of the drivers right now. Unknown what the weather forecast is unless someone says it in the Discord, but take a brief look once again at the grid. It is Yari from Bentley, from Joker, from Lewis, from ST, your top 5. Richie lines up 6 with one of his best qualifying performances in VRS history. Samuel Eli is P7 from LOI Not Jack. Vinny and BJ Riley wrapping up the top 10. 6th row is shared by Puzzant and Andy. Good qualifying sessions from both of them. Then it's HB Cook and Ben, 2 good friends, lining up on the 7th row. Sean Moist and Agent Sinulol are P16 and P17. And last on the grid is Billy Wiz. But we are now ready. It's 5 lights ahead of the drivers in Belgium. And it's lights out. And away we go. It's a great start from Yari. It's a terrible start from Bentley in P2 into turn 1. Yari is going to lead by a mile, but keep an eye on Bentley, who is under pressure, managing to keep it together. There is a Williams round, and that is Andy already dropping to dead last immediately on lap 1 through Aruja and Radion. We will go for the first time, and it's Yari from Bentley, from Joker, your top 3 as it stands, and it looks like some absolute chaos in the background. Richie trying to gain a place on Samuel Eli into Lecom for the first time. And Toyota Yari will maintain his lead in this race. Further back, ST will gain a position on Richie as this curb riding, I believe, from the Aston Martin. But BJ Riley and LOI Not Jack going wheel to wheel. Out in front, Yari and Bentley are fighting it out early on in this lap 1 for superiority. Both of them maintaining their positions from the start. Further back, Puzzant and LOI Not Jack wheel to wheel through Puon already on lap 1. Who will maintain that position? It looks like for now it'll be LOI Not Jack. Better grip already on that hard compound tyre. It looks like for him a little bit wide of the apex though. But early on in this race it looks like Bentley ready to put the pressure on. But he is being pressured as well by Joker in that Mercedes. The hard compound tyre, good for the longevity around here. Does Joker have any want to go for a move against Bentley? He's going to go for the move. Bentley, massive lift and coast into the final corner. He's going to try hang it round the outside of the first part of the bus stop and will make it work. Keep an eye on Samuel Eli though, looking on the exit at Sprint F1. Couldn't get the move to work early on in this race. But lap 1 completed, everyone maintaining relatively clean. Andy with a little bit of contact. But now Eli versus Sprint F1 through Eau Rouge. They're wheel to wheel. They maintain it wheel to wheel through Eau Rouge. And now down the back straight. A little bit of contact between the two cars. It's a slipstream for the Red Bull on the back of the Mercedes. The lift and coast couldn't find a way through. So it's going to maintain this battle all the way through. And keep an eye on Bentley and Yari in front still, scrapping away for the lead of this race. Bentley to the outside of Yari. He's going to try and hang it all the way around into no name now. Yari looking like he had to concede the position at the end of that fight. But better battery in the Cadillac car for now. Keep an eye further back. Richie making the move against ST. BJ Riley fighting it out with WTEC 7 Vinny, as well as Ben and HB Cook. You can see in the background wheel to wheel. Joker is going to get Bentley. What has happened to Bentley in the Racing Bull? He's been swarmed. Here goes Sprint F1 also making that move on Bentley. And it's not looking ideal for the driver who started P2. It's looking very ideal for the driver who started just behind OSRT Joker, looking to make a move on his racing teammate as Sprint F1. Massive desync for him. I'm sure he'll have a few concerns from drivers. There is a dive to the inside from Bentley, and there is a spinning Samuel Eli down the order in that McLaren. He's looking, he is dropping all the way to the back as BJ Riley looks to make up the place on Richie. Richie's going to hang it on the outside of the source. Can he keep this position over BJ Riley? No, he can't is the answer, and it's that. Droplets of rain. It looked dark. It was very dark. Yeri picking up a penalty already in this race. 3 seconds on the board, but this is critical now. In this race, this lap could be the transition, and Joker getting on the grass. Contact from Bentley in the back of him. Bentley with a massive slide, and that's allowed Sprint F1 to find his way up into P3 as the rain begins to fall in Spa-Francorchamps. The mountains are getting a bit wet out here, and any one of those hard tyre runners from the start, which is a good majority of the grid, might start to show a bit of struggle in this little part of the race. Not able to keep the heat as well in their tyres, not going to be able to perform and operate as well for as long. But the wear as well on that medium tyre is looking to cause problems. Yari will maintain this lead right now on lap 3 as he heads through Stabilo for the first time. Look at the run that Joker got through Stabilo, though. Is he going to have the opportunity to make a move? He's used a lot of battery to even consider it, but not getting close enough. Sprint F1 dropping out of that overtake window. Bentley backing out just enough. Defensive line from Sprint F1 as into the pits comes Yari. Early on in this race, Sprint F1 will follow, as will Bentley. Joker is staying out, and this is where the strategy split begins. Who has chosen the right time to dive for an intermediate? 3 of your leading group have all gone to intermediates, and that looked like an issue on traction for Joker. Out of the first corner. Time will tell us whether it was the right call. BJ Riley on the back of ST, as it doesn't look like the grip isn't there anymore. Here comes Puzzant. He's looking to take P3. A little less battery than Richie, who's going to come back and fight and keep an eye on LY, not Jack 2, who's going to look to the inside of Puzzant. They're wheel to wheel. Puzzant a little bit off the track there. LOI not Jack will take that position up into P4. Puzzant with the fight back, though, in that Haas car. He'll go back up the inside through the hairpin, but LOI not Jack with the inside line. It's a massive snap for the Audi driver, for your Season 1 vice champion. And he'll drop down to 6th, even under threat of losing P6 at this rate from BJ Riley. Just behind him, Joker leading by 2 seconds right now, holding on to the racetrack very well indeed on what is expected to be a much worse tyre in these conditions. Yellow flags further back. Who is that that's gone round? Can't quite tell. But Yari down there in P14, not seeming to gain as much as you'd expect from an intermediate. Who's ready to make that jump? Let's take a look on board with Joker at what the grip looks like. It doesn't look too bad on this track as the positions are gained and lost there. Richie with a massive slide in Blodshimon. He is dropping down the order. He is in P9 right now. It's Samuel Eli and Shaw Moist wheel to wheel, getting past the slow-moving Richie. Into the final chicane, Samuel Eli again tapped on the rear end, sent sliding, and will be fighting Shaw Moist into the pit lane as everyone decides to go. What has Yari managed to do with this outlap? 1 lap of intermediates, and it's looking very good for the Cadillac man. As it stands, he'll come out the pit lane. He will lead. But Joker seeming to have made that gain. Some inroads. 1 lap fresher tyres. 1 lap where that track was not as ideal for Yari. And I think we're already seeing the reduced straight mode, the lack of boost now. And this is where the race might become a bit of a slog. Here comes Puzzant against WTEC 7 Vinny. He's going to have to make a brave move to the inside. And it is successful by the Haas driver up to P5. How much pace does he have? In conditions we haven't very often seen. LOI Not Jack's going to try and make that follow through as well. Contact into Vinny. Gets up the inside, but that's not going to be a very happy Cadillac that he just overtook. Keep an eye on Billy Whiz as well. Same corner. Trying to fight it through with HB Cook, who's going to hang to the inside of No Name. Can't make any sort of move stick at this stage of the proceedings. Up to P9 for Billy Whiz. Looking further back, Ben Wawa against Shaw Moist. And it's a good run through the long left for Ben. Does he have any opportunity to go for a move? Not able to find the position on track to go for it. LMG Samuel Eli as well. Newly rebranded from UFRT, one of our partners. Our first team partner with the league. Also looking to have a go at the two drivers, but that's not where you want to be. That's a massive time loss. Ben now, slipstream is all he'll have. Maybe a little bit of straight mode as we come through. Blanchimont, can he do anything against one of his rivals for showing up on the standings? Nothing coming from it yet. And Ben surely now in dire straits, looking for the move. He's going to go to the inside. He wants this point. He's going to look. He's going to fight for it. Get the car straightened up. Can't make the move, but it's now the biggest slipstream he will ever get to make the move, as Bentley will get past Sprint F1 with a little bit of contact. We see Shaw Moist now under threat from Ben, who pulls out the slipstream, defending from Samuel Eli, who might try and go for them both into Lecom. Samuel Eli with a beautiful double move to get Ben and Shaw Moist in one corner and bring himself up into the points paying positions. Ben is still putting that pressure on Shaw Moist. Corner after corner as it's getting a lot wetter out there right now. The struggles will be real for these drivers. Ben is all over the place right now, trying to look for some sort of advantage against his rival in the Racing Bull. It's no longer a fight for points, it's a fight for bragging rights between the two of them. But Ben, P14 right now, not looking good. BJ Riley will pick up a 3-second time penalty as well, further up the order. As we'll settle in now for what looks to be a never-ending rain period within this race. Keep an eye on Sprint F1, who is close to the back of Bentley and has Puzant. Not someone you should take as a non-threat in any race. Right behind him, look at the commitment through Eau Rouge and Radion. Despite the conditions, continuing to push on as hard as humanly possible. None of this battle for P3 changing around. Further back, there have been moves made. And Shaw Moist, looking to be one of the people making moves. He's got Ben right ahead of him. He found a little bit of a run. Has just that little bit more top end compared to the Mercedes. Is he going to find the move on the outside? He'll have to be brave. It'll have to be committed. He makes the move stick, at least initially. Ben to the outside. And that was bold by the Mercedes driver to take P13 in this race. Andy, close to the back of the two of them, looking to fight this out now. On that intermediate tyre, said he'll win if it rains. And he's looking to go for it, and that is straight through against Shaw Moist. Up to P14, Samuel Eli fighting Ben. Little bits of contact between the two of them. Is Ben going to try and get himself back into this points-paying position? He sure as hell will try, but not quite yet. is the answer. But how long is it going to be? Because the commitment from one of these cars looks a hell of a lot stronger than from the other. And we can't neglect our focus on the lead fight. Sprint F1 looking at the inside of Bentley, while Puzant's going to take a look back to the inside in the final chicane. Can't make anything happen over that curb. Here goes Sprint, though, onto the main straight. What sort of pace does he have? Nothing. Prepared into turn one as Puzant nearly rams into the back of the two of them. And getting on that curb, it's going to cost him. LOI Not Jack joining the fray as well. So it's getting a little spicy for the final point podium position as Sinyo is out of the race. It looks like he's retired on the racetrack as Puzant will make the move against Sprint F1. LOI Not Jack in the wet looking to make it 3 wide but backs out. Sprint F1 will continue this fight against Puzant. Can't make it work and has opened himself up to LOI Not Jack. Little bit of contact. Not Jack forced over the curb and a bit into the gravel. He's going to dive it back to the inside. If he's going to bang wheels, Not Jack will bang right back. And it's banging through each and every corner. Turn 8 now, more contact. As LOI Not Jack will take that P5 away from Sprint F1. In what looked like a frustrating move to complete. Bentley picks up a 3-second time penalty. Just to add some woes to his race. Puon being his nemesis. So far, he's had such a good run of results. How much longer will it last for? Could today be the final one of many? HB Cook looking at BJ Riley right now. In this kind of second train we have formed for P7. HB Cook looking confident as ever in that Aston Martin. It's not on for a good result today. Cadillac is the team in the hot seat right now in terms of constructors' points. But Henry looking to do anything he can to change it. The lean, green, mean machine on the back of the Williams ST in the Audi, trying to help matters for his team as well. He'll look to the inside of BJ Riley into the final chicane. There's going to be a bit of contact between the two of them. Can ST make anything happen? No. HB Cook looking on the exit as well. But not the traction given to the Aston Martin car. How brave is ST feeling? He's feeling very brave. It's deep. Go to the inside. Little bit of touching between the two of them. ST just about gets the traction down. Just about can find P9. How much further can he go? Because he needs a hell of a lot more if Audi want to challenge Cadillac in terms of points today. Ritchie will retire in the pit lane and leave this session as lap 9 commences. And now into Lacombe. ST is looking like one of the faster drivers out on this circuit right now. Joker hasn't dropped away from Yari either. Out in front, those two have held very solid till just then. A mistake maybe from the Mercedes driver, dropping him a good way off the man who pitted 1 lap earlier to try and make something happen in his race, and it didn't seem to quite pay off in the way he expected. Joker now looking to fight back. 1 lap fresher intermediates aren't going to do much difference as these conditions seem to get worse and worse. HB Cook has finally got BJ Riley, or has he? Around the outside goes the Williams driver. Around the outside, the Aston Martin will fight it back. At the inside line though, secured for Stabilo. Who's going to back out here? HB Cook, I think, more forced to back out than wanting to, as that's Billy Wiz off the track. Position more than easily lost by him. Just a small mistake. Everything adds up over time. What can HB Cook do though? He saw ST on that previous lap. The confidence needed. BJ Riley deep on the brakes. I think he might have touched Billy Wiz there, but we can't be certain. Lap 10 beginning for these drivers. BJ Riley looking to go on Billy Wiz, backing out just before turn 1 lockup for the Williams driver. He's going for the switchback right now. Traction not ideal, but still just a slightly better exit needs to be able to carry this through Rouge and Radion, but he's just too close. And Billy Wiz will pull away. And this has opened the door for the Aston Martin of HB Cook, who's been looking and looking to make a move lap after lap. But BJ Riley, with that superior straight line speed, does Henry have anything on the brakes? He's going to look briefly as Bentley is into the barrier. And that is a virtual safety car. Bentley retires from the race. Another mistake hampering his race, and the full safety car has been deployed to the circuit here on lap 10 in the Belgian Grand Prix of VRS. Bentley, God knows what happened to him. I'm sure I will see a message very shortly regarding it. Bentley said it was meant to be full dry, but we go back to dynamic. So, not ideal for him. Lap 10 of 22 here in Belgium. Who's going to decide for a pit stop under the safety car? Gary will go in, as will Joker. Who's the person that might think of staying out and taking track position? LY not Jack. Certainly considering it. Hozan and Sprint F1 will go into the pit lane, so LY not Jack will take the lead of this race, but it'll have two drivers on much fresher tyres behind them. I'm sure the rest of the field feeling the exact same way about their tyres, and they are. As it stands right now, everyone barring LOI not Jack have boxed for a new tyre. Samuel Eli into the pits, Ben into the pits, Andy will be going into the pits, as will Shaw Moist. The order may be ready to shuffle up at this point. Has anyone thought of a full wet, is my question. Because let's be honest, this track is not looking in the finest condition right now for any one of these drivers. Only driver out there that hasn't boxed for a second time is LOI not Jack, who has decided that sticking out his second intermediate, his first intermediate was the best play to gain track position. How much grip will that tyre give up come the restart? I think the only benefit is if he'd managed to keep some temperature more in that interval than other people might have done. But I can't quite see on my screen if there is any evidence to back that up of that tyre being warm enough to consider restarting on properly. Has he made a mistake with this strategy call? The Season 1 Vice Champion against Yari, a driver looking to take a championship. How quick can Yari clear? Not Jack, maybe. Could be a very solid question for these guys. If Yari can clear Not Jack early on, and then Not Jack becomes a bit of a roadblock for the guys behind, well, only time will tell, but it could make this race a hell of a lot more interesting. LOI Not Jack is getting ready to lead the grid 14 drivers who remain in this race back to green flag conditions. 6 lap is his tyre delta, and he has gone very early through Blanchimont and has one more corner to negotiate before we are back to green flag racing through the final corner. He will go, and the Belgian Grand Prix is back on at the start of lap 13. The spray heavier than ever offline into turn 1. The grip not looking so bad for LOI Not Jack in the early stages, and everyone line astern. For the time being, we're waiting for mistakes to be the deciding factor here. It is flat out, it looked like, through Eau Rouge for LOI Not Jack, who has nearly pulled that second already on Yari Spam's L2. And Joker assessing how bad this could be for his race. You'd think Not Jack's tyres surely a hell of a lot worse. At this stage, the grooves are going to be worn down even more on that Audi car, but he does lead for the time being from Yari, from Joker, from Puzan in 4th, who is looking to climb back to the top step of the podium using that grass through turn 9, and Poo on turn 10. Nowhere near going to be flat in these conditions, in these cars. 1.2 already as the gap opened out front. No moves have really been spotted. No moves been able to be made this early on the restart as everyone tries to bring their tyre temperatures back up to a decent operating window. The gap out in front will maintain at 1.2 seconds. That is commitment from LOI Not Jack, who pulls again in Stabilo. All of these really tricky, fast corners are where LOI Not Jack has found his time early on, and surely Joker, with the possibility of looking for a move, he's going to go to the inside of Yari. Little bit of argy-bargy between the two of them. Yari and Joker, wheel to wheel. Puzan is going to look to get the both of them, but Yari taps Puzan on that exit. So Puzan now under pressure from Joker, from sprint in turn 1. Joker is going to go back up the inside of Yari, who tries to get a better exit, who does get a better exit, it looks like, versus Joker. They're still wheel to wheel. Are they going to hold it wheel to wheel? To Eau Rouge, no. Joker backing out. Logical move. Puzan looking to go once again against Joker. Doesn't have the slipstream. Straight mode might be open, but it's not doing much. Here goes Joker once again against Yari. Into Lecom. Joker nowhere near alongside. And Yari closes that door against the Mercedes driver. 2.7 is the gap that LOI Not Jack has now been granted out in front. It is a gift from God for the Audi team, for the Audi driver, as ST will get sprint F1. Vinny under pressure from Billy Wiz, who's gone to the inside. Is that damage maybe on Vinny's car? BJ Riley's going to look for the switchback. He has HB Cook pushing him through as well, as we look to try and have it settled down. Samuel Eli, though, and HB Cook battling it out through Pouon. HB Cook will keep that P10 for now, but Samuel Eli went off the track to lose that position. Samuel Eli will go back to the inside and have to scrap it back out against the Aston Martin driver. The position is won for now by the McLaren driver, who are finally, by the way, McLaren in decent point scoring positions in a race this season. Mercedes as well, maybe about to find some very nice points for themselves as well. What can Samuel Eli do, though? He's got BJ Riley just ahead. He's got so much overspeed. He looked to the inside of Blanchimont. Couldn't make it work. BJ Riley might feel the pressure to go for a move on Billy Wiz. It had to stick to the inside of Billy Wiz. Into the pits comes Vinny. So everyone behind gaining those positions now. BJ Riley still down in P9 as Vinny retires from this race session. He is done for today. 13 drivers remain in here. 12 of them will score points today, no matter what goes on. But we just wait now to see what might go on out in front. Here's Puzant and Joker. Look at the overspeed that Puzant seems to have. Can't quite make the move, but that is promising for him in these wet conditions. There goes Samuel Eli through on Billy Wiz, who will now start to do a defensive masterclass for the McLaren team and maybe give Samuel that buffer to pull the 3-second penalty with his pace. If he does so have any compared to those around him, HB Cook is still on the back of BJ Riley. He's been stuck there since before the safety car and just can't find a way through. He finds his way through on others. He finds his way through occasionally on BJ Riley, but it never sticks. Is this a time where he might be able to? He can't have the confidence to look to the inside there, as it is still drenched out there in the Belgian hills. What can HB Cook do with what will be 7 to go when they cross the line as Vinny says goodbye for the day? We wait and see what's going to happen elsewhere. Further forward, Puzant yet again is close. ST is close, but got on the grass there, it looks like. While on the attack against Sprint F1, would love to see what happened there to cause some grass action for the Audi driver. Audi in a great position right now. There goes Puzant to the inside. He's trying to make his position just that little bit better against Joker, who had to ride the curb on the exit, on board with the hash driver. It's wheel to wheel. It's going to be wheel to wheel through Eau Rouge and Radion. How have they survived that? Puzant, though, better straight line speed. We've seen it before. He's going to be forced onto the wet stuff if he wants to make this worse. ST in the background also looking to try and make a move. Can Puzant do it? He dives in deep, and he will succeed in his mission to get the move done against Joker. ST will follow suit as well, but it's a better line from Sprint F1. Could he get the run out of the corner? It just wasn't happening for him this lap. Sprint F1, P6, dropping down the order right now as ST gains P5 and Audi another crucial point in what has been already a very hard fought Belgian Grand Prix for round 9. Every round from here decisive for the championship. Each driver now fighting hard for what they believe in, for what they want. And most of these guys looking for drivers, if not a constructors fight, with their teams after last round. Eloy Not Jack was on 99 points. As it stands, he is primed to take the lead of the championship by what a margin it would be as well. He would be 20 points ahead of Daniel, who was removed from his seat, and HB Cook isn't looking like getting through Daniel. Sprint F1, though, is looking to make moves against ST once again, and the run was magnificent from that Red Bull car to maintain P5 as it stands, but ST is no stranger to attacking through Eau Rouge and Radion and down this Kemmel Straight. He knows what he needs to do now, just bring himself back. Who also is fueled correctly for this race. That's a key thing. It's wet. You burn a hell of a lot more fuel with these regs in the wet. So how much pain might that bring to some of these drivers? Sprint F1, slight defensive shape. ST poses the dummy to the inside, but nowhere near being able to make a move. Further back, Andy gets bent. BJ Riley trying to fight it out against Billy Wiz for that P8 position, but Billy Wiz penalty free. BJ Riley the furthest thing from it. He has a penalty on the board right now, and that'll only cost him to every driver behind him who doesn't carry one as it stands. Through Huon they go. It looks so slow in these conditions compared to the almost flat out every lap you can do it when the conditions are slick as anything. Dry tyres can be fitted, but it doesn't look like with 5 laps to go when we cross the line that is going to be possible whatsoever. LOI not Jack 2.5 seconds out in front in this race right now. He hasn't lost time to Yari, but Yari has been losing time lap after lap, slowly but surely, to Puzant in that Haas car, who might not be a threat, at least in terms of the driver standings, but is looking to put more in place for the Haas fight in the constructors. And confidence beaming from that car. You saw the straight line speed compared to Joker earlier on in the stint. That's a bit of time loss as well there for LOI not Jack in the Audi. And can't afford to lose too much time, because he still could yet be under threat from Puzant's Haas car. Big lift and coasts there. Puzant taking a hell of a lot of curb. Concerns might be there in terms of penalties. ST isn't really concerned about penalties. He wants to get his way through. Again, Sprint F1, who makes the mistake, touches the curb. It's to the inside of the hairpin for ST. How much confidence does he have to get that power down on the exit? It's sideways for the Audi driver. He's wide on the exit, a bit of gravel on the tyres. They're still wheel to wheel, and it maintained through Puon. Unfortunately for ST, Sprint F1 with just a bit better commitment onto the apex. Does ST have anything to say? Into the left and right chicane, nothing coming for the Audi driver, just has to wait. No one's really struggling on battery. I'd be surprised to see someone even as slow as Ben is on battery, surprisingly. Samuel Eli, don't count him out as well. He is trying to catch ST up ahead of him. As I say ST's name, Sprint F1, mistake on the exit of Stavelot, and Blanchimont looms. Better line for ST, a little bit of toe, going to be picked up mid-corner. Couldn't quite find the run he needed to make the move where he might have thought it possible. But plenty of opportunities left. It's 4 laps to go for these drivers here at the Circuit Spa-Francorchamps. And ST looking to put on the display, looking to dive to the inside of Sprint F1, who will get the switchback more than happily against the Audi driver. Commitment out the wazoo for ST 24:06:11, who has a better run yet again through Eau Rouge and through Radion down the Camel Straight. Can he make this move? Slipstream is their fib. It's all that matters for him, as Puzant has gotten Yari. Sprint F1 couldn't be gotten by ST at this stage. Keep an eye on Joker as well, who's finally rejoining this scrap as well down there in P4. The Mercedes man looming ever closer to fighting for P2. He's certainly on the podium right now. That 3-second penalty for Yari, throwing away what would have been a nice podium for the time being, but we've still got about 3.5 laps to go, and Puzant sees his target out ahead. That is commitment from the Haas driver, who will throw this car around every corner of the last few laps he has remaining to fight in this race. He has an Audi to chase down and a Haas car that has been faltering in the middle of the top 10 all race, that couldn't qualify in the top 10 earlier on. We will have 3 laps remaining to duel out as they cross the line, and Puzant on a mission. Here comes Joker as well. Inside of Yari, a little bit of a lockup from the Mercedes man, but nothing doing, at least on the entry to the chicane, the exit. Not much better for either of them, as Billy Whiz has retired from the race as well. So everyone gets a point. You get a point, Sure Moist down in P12 now. Everyone who finishes this race will be happy to have at least scored and been there. But we keep our eye now on Joker, who's looking to go on Yari, who had a massive moment through Rouge and Radion. How has he kept that together? But surely the position will go now. Joker on the outside, down the Camel Straight. Just has to break that a little bit later on a drier piece of tarmac. Yari, what commitment he had there to keep it together, but Joker looking everywhere to find little bits more grip to get through. Nothing coming right now for the Mercedes driver. Pouzin isn't gaining enough either as it stands, but plenty of technical bits yet to come where those fresher intermediate tyres will be giving him the business. There's Samuel Eli getting ST through the hairpin. A driver who earlier on was struggling to get through BJ Riley's train, finally in a position of power up to P6 and continuing to fight strong. No one has given up in this race yet. It's 1.5 the gap, 1.6 now between Pouzin and LOI Not Jack, who has been the best, I would say, through the high speed every lap since we got these conditions early on in the race. LOI Not Jack as well. 15 lap old intermediates. They're going to be starting to feel the pain over the final 2 laps we have here in Belgium. Joker, though, wants to get this podium on track. He doesn't know if Yari's penalty will be removed. I don't know if it will be either. So Joker looking to take it on track. Hard on the anchors into turn 1. And it's another run at it again. Hard on the power, trying to get the traction. He can't find the traction. It's still better than Yari. The run he got through turn 1. Through Eau Rouge and Radion. Does Yari have the commitment? It's looking better from Yari than last lap. But the run is still there. The toe, ever powerful. Getting in the wheel tracks, running right in the wheel tracks of the Cadillac driver. Surely this is the time the Joker gets himself on the brakes into Lecom. On the outside, he will have to hang it. That switches to the inside. For the next part, it's still wheel to wheel between these two drivers. They'll fought it out for superiority all race in this contact between the two of them. A little slide from Joker, securing him that position in P3 for the time being. Halfway around, lap 21 of 22. 1 lap will remain at the end of this one, and who will come out victorious? It looks, for all intents and purposes, like it'll be LOI Not Jack, the dominant driver in that high speed. Let's look again through Blanche, through Stabilo here. Just confidence to keep it together, while Pouzin is having little moments that keep costing him. Yari dropping away from Joker as soon as the move was made. I think showing the pace drop-off he's had on that fresh intermediate tyre. LOI Not Jack didn't have to worry about a thing, stayed out. And the strategy just came into its own. LOI Not Jack will cross the line now to start the final tour of this 7.1 kilometre circuit in Belgium. And what a race he has driven through turn 1. Pouzin looking confident, looking to hunt still. But does he really have anything left in that car, in those tyres, to make this happen? Up the hill, little gains being made, but it's not looking like enough for your driver in P2, who has climbed the order this race. Up 9 positions, LOI Not Jack. Up 7. Your 2 biggest gainers are P1 and P2 in reverse order of how much they have gained throughout the duration of this race. Pouzin gaining more and more in the middle sector as the track is drying up on this final lap. It's getting to the point where you want that grip left in the tyre, where you want to be able to send it left, right and centre. Does he have enough though? As we continue on, he is pushing that car as hard as he can sliding a little bit off the road is Puzan, and I think his charge has finished. So let's look at your driver in P1, the driver who, no matter what now, will lead your driver standings, barring a disqualification. At the end of this race, at the end of proceedings, he has driven a champion's drive, our Season 1 Vice Champion, one of the more successful drivers within Velocity Racing Series, is rounding the final couple of corners here in Belgium. The Audi car soaking wet, and I'm sure he will be bathing in the glory. LOI Not Jack will cross the line. It's victory in Belgium for the Audi driver. He takes the championship lead with that performance. Puzant can only come home in P2. LOI OSRT Joker will come home P3. Sprint F1 fourth, Yari just losing out on his penalty to be P5. ST in 6th from Samuel Eli on debut with a beautiful P7. HB Cook will gain to P8 from BJ Riley in 9th, who lost out due to penalties. It's 10th for Shaw Moist, 11th for Ben, and last for Andy. Actually, 11th for Andy. He had less penalties than Ben. I will join you all back after I get this result screen on stream before I lose it like I did last week. For interviews with your top three, Puzant carries the fastest lap for a consolation additional point. Good for him to have there. 19 points being delivered for that man. And no warnings in those last 3 laps. It's beautiful. And we are back with what seems to be only your winner for today. It is your new championship leader, LOI, not Jack. Not Jack, what a race you drove today. Up 7 places, and after that safety car, you looked unstoppable.
Thank you.
So, what made the difference in the wet bee today? Because genuinely, you looked unstoppable in that high speed, especially.
Um, I'm always just like decent enough at the wet, and especially in this game, when I don't have to think about battery, like that's an advantage to me personally. I know as well that like tire wear is never that big a factor on inters. Like they're even if there's a decent gap in percentage, it's only like worth a sometimes not even a tenth. Probably towards the end, it was getting a bit worse, but also like the drier it got, like the worse I am relatively, I think as well. And yeah. So yeah, I just stayed out in the pits, tried to get a decent restart, and there was a big scrap behind me, I think, after the restart, like the lap after or something like that, which kind of gave me a nice bit of buffer, and then just, yeah, drove my race to the end.
I mean, yeah, it was a beautiful race executed from you. Obviously, qualifying had a spanner thrown in the works with the rain joining you there as well. Do you reckon there was anything more you could have got out of qualifying if you'd had that final run, or was that kind of your true pace?
I don't know, like I spectated someone's lap after my first one to see what was up with battery, because on my first run, like, I was the second person to go, like, so, but I set 2 purple sectors and I finished like 8 tenths off or something. I just had no battery left for the last sector, so then even in like I did a lap and it was like kind of starting to rain, and I still gained, like I lost obviously in the first 2 sectors, but I still gained like a good few tenths in the last. So I would have had something just from like battery, but like otherwise it was a like pretty decent lap, I thought. My banker anyway.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a championship lead for you, Jack, as well. First championship lead since season 1. Is this you now, the statement that you're going to win this title, or is it not over yet for you?
Well, next week's my last race, so I guess it'll be up to, we'll see how, I think, is it Monaco next week?
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be a bit of fun. Like I don't mind doing a race around there like once a game or something. So that'll be like, I couldn't tell you how that's gonna go, because like obviously that's all gonna be decided in quali or through crashing.
Yeah.
So we'll see how I get on there, and then after that it'll be whoever's in second or third's kind of job, just to have a decent last few races. But yeah, it'll be what it'll be after next week.
Well, big hopes to you. Big hopes to you, Jack, that this title does go your way despite you not being able to finish the last 2 races. You might be a twice vice champion in BRS, which I think isn't, which I think is a feat that no one else has achieved yet. So you'll at least have that accolade to go next to you. Thanks for coming along, Jack. Appreciate you coming along. Great race from you today.
Cheers.
That is it for today, then. We are going to be back on Thursday for an unexpected race in VRS Realistic tier. Realistic cars, new lineups for everyone. It'll be absolute cinema. Your slowest guys in the fastest cars, your fastest guys in the slowest cars. Who will come out on top in the series? We will just have to wait and see. On Sunday, we'll have Owls Racing League racing at the Chinese Grand Prix, I want to say, but I am going to double check because I'm very stupid. It is China on Sunday. And shout out to our partner, LMG, the first team to partner with VRS. Those guys do some pretty awesome stuff. Legacy Motorsport Group. And let's hope that they have great success wherever they're competing, unless it's against me. Thank you all for coming along, and we will see you all next week.